How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. I hope y'all had a good holiday. I just said y'all. I never say y'all.
Festive.
Hope y'all had a great holiday. And Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you're celebrating, I hope it was a good one. My guest today is artist, director, writer, actor, Caroline Concordia.
That's right.
I nailed the name?
You nailed it. Thank you.
Boom.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
All right. I am actually really happy you're here. I've been trying to get her on for pretty much this whole year, and obviously
This is
things
a
have
long
been going
time.
on.
A long time in the making. I'm not gonna lie, I was too scared to come during lockdown, during COVID.
Yeah.
I was scared. But I was honest with you. I was playing it
cool.
safe. And ironically, I didn't tell you, I did get COVID.
Oh,
During
for
that
real,
time,
eh?
yeah, I did get it. Mild case. I know. Started
was
off
that?
with a bang. It was scary mentally, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's like you hear about it in the news, and it was like obviously a very scary thing, but there's a lot of people that kind of get it and recover, and it's okay. So, as being as safe as I was and scared and everything.
Did you follow the Joe Rogan method?
Got that horse medicine or something?
Did you hear about how many people that he's like
Yeah.
within a week they been diagnosed with COVID, and then 3 to 5 to 7 days later they don't have it, and
I just laid low.
Yeah,
just laid low and wrote it out, and then it was okay.
I'm not exactly sure what he's doing. He's
crazy.
He's out there a little bit, but I don't know. It seems to be working for people. So I mean, whatever your route is, hopefully you got better.
I did get better.
How long did it take?
It was only bad for a couple days, and not even that bad, but it was a couple days, and then I did the isolation, stayed at home, and all that. This was April, right before the vaccines rolled out, of course.
Yeah.
So, and I was gonna ask you too. You can say the C word, you're not worried about it getting on YouTube, because I know some YouTubers, it's they don't say it because they're worried their video is gonna get flagged.
The C word?
COVID. Yeah. Did you know about this?
No.
Because I know you've brought it up on other episodes.
Yeah.
But you never got flagged or anything, so it's fine.
No.
But some people think. But anyway, starting it off with that topic, my bad, but we have so much to talk about.
No, that's kind of kind of cool though. I've never had anybody
up
on here that's had it before,
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like, even I've heard cases of vaccinated people still getting COVID.
Yeah.
And now they're coming out with booster shots.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to get anything else unless they kind of force it on me. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have got this if it didn't dictate the money going into my pocket. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a topic.
Yeah. Before we started,
yes,
I was saying how I still get nervous doing these. And granted, the first one was obviously huge. A lot of pressure, and from that I think it might be a little less. Mm-hmm. But I still this is the 29th episode.
Wow. And
I like to smoke a little weed before I film because I feel like it calms my nerves. What do you do to calm your nerves?
I was thinking about this on the way here driving, because driving is even an anxiety trigger for me, especially going to a new place, because I'm always worried I'm going to be late. There's going to be traffic. There's so many unknowns. So I'm always trying to control things and worry about the worst case scenario.
How are you on the highway?
It differs.
Yeah.
I put a podcast on and try to just zone out and relax. And the one way I cope, and I know this sounds so basic, but it is really breathing. It is really the just focusing on your breath and trying to drop into the moment, and all things pass. And even if you're riding some anxiety or nerves, you just have to remember it's going to go away, and just trying to enjoy your life. Because I feel for me, anxiety robs so much of my mental space that it's the anxiety's winning. But so it's trying to learn to work with it, because it's going to be there, but it's what can you do to kind of minimize it.
Have you done a lot of auditions?
A lot.
How do you deal with it in those situations where it's
man.
On the podcast it's easy, if I'm watching it when I'm going through it and adding photos, they just cut a little part out if I'm
you're in control.
a little more control at least,
Yes. Well, the last couple of years, everything's gone to self-tape more so. So you're doing it at home on your own time. You can do it as many times, edit it. So it's a little less pressure. But going into the rooms where it's like, you know, it's so important to me, like my acting career and booking these jobs. And yeah, I would be like almost like outer body experience because I'd be so nervous. And doing stand-up, we were talking about this, I dabbled in stand-up. I did probably half a dozen shows. I would be so nervous, especially my first show at Second City as part of the class. It's to the point where it's like, I don't even want to do this because I'm so nervous. But I guess part of being a performer, it's this like fake it till you make it thing where I can just do things. Like I can just like, whether or not it's like ready or not, it's happening, and kind of just feel the fear, do it anyway, which is a book that I haven't read, but just that title alone makes sense to me. Like you just do it and it just works out somehow.
What made you take a Second City class? You did the stand-up?
I did the stand-up. I did improv as well, ABC, before that, and writing 1 and 2.
I've been thinking about doing improv just to kind of help me with, like, my crowd working skills and stuff like that. I feel like it might be beneficial.
I literally think everyone should take it, no matter what industry you're in.
Yeah. Especially
level A, they had, like, every walk of life, every different, like, doctors, lawyers, students, actors, and it's so much fun. Growing up, like I always pretty much knew I wanted to be an actor. I was always super interested in comedians, SNL, loved SNL growing up, of course, which is not the same as stand-up.
Even early Mad TV. How old are you?
I'm a 1983 model, I like to say.
1983?
So if you do the math, 38.
Oh my god.
I know everyone's like, you don't seem 38.
I thought you were younger than me, for sure. I'm 35.
Okay, yeah, so like roughly the same generation of
even
things.
Early Mad TV. I was asking just because, like, you know, you have the generations of people that
you like.
Yeah, and like even early Mad TV, I thought, because I actually got into Mad TV before I got into Saturday Night Live.
Okay, that'll make a difference.
Which
like,
was odd.
Miss Swan.
Yes.
Love Miss Swan.
Nicole
Stewart.
Sullivan, Aries Spears.
Yeah.
Michael McDonald. There was like that era of Mad TV. Only that era. SNL has had different eras of good. I like the earlier SNL. Right now, it's like hit or miss.
Like, love Molly Shannon, Sherry O'Terry, Will Ferrell, like Anna Gasteyer, those.
Even like Chris Farley, Phil Hartman.
So many good people.
Yeah.
But
Tracy Morgan.
Just to trail back a bit, so I always had an interest in stand-up, and I'd hear people I knew taking the class, and I'd always get jealous. And then finally, one of my really good friends, Danielle, was like, I signed up for the class. I'm like, that's it. I'm doing it with you. Like, that was my sign. I'm doing it. I'm not going to, like, let this opportunity. Because doing it with a friend, too, is kind of, like, a little bit of a safety net. Because you have that person. You're experiencing it through them. But doing that show at the end of the class, and, like, we all pulled names for the order. I pulled the second last name, and I was like, no! Because I just knew the entire show I would just be, like, rocking back and forth, which I was just, like, so scared and nervous, like, ruining the entire show, like, for me. So I was second last, and yeah, that fear was so real. But that audience is so hot, they get you nice and warmed up at Second City. They give you a good first experience for a show, so you kind of have a little more confidence. Yeah,
from there.
Then after that, but that first show was really special. I was so nervous, and, like, yeah, so to answer the initial question, the nerves, I don't think there's, like, one true answer. Like, you know, like, these people they swear by the oils, like what are those oils called?
That relax you?
Yeah, like...
I don't know, like...
You know what I'm talking about.
I do know what
you're talking about. The lavender, the peppermint. Like, I feel like I've tried it all. Essential oils, that's the word. But for me, it's, like, really, like, a holistic approach, which is, like... It's so cheesy, but I know this about myself. I'm a highly sensitive person. So, I know I need to get my sleep. I know I need to eat properly. I know I need to, like, not be too busy in my life. I need to, like, be balanced. I'm a Libra, too, if you are into the astrology thing. But I think it's just kind of, like, if any of these things are off, I'm just not going to be running optimally, and the nerves are going to be worse. So it's, like, if I can, like, keep myself overall feeling good and balanced, then it'll be better. The self-care, like, all that, I don't know. Like,
what about after you got off the stage the first time?
I was so relieved. It was a lot of fun. And I was just like, I feel like I need to do it a couple more times. And that's how we met, was through that show. Do you remember the show? The Bring It?
Bring It On or Bring It or something
and
like that.
you were amazing.
I was all right. I think
I
hate looking back at like I've recorded a lot of stuff, and it's so hard to watch. I even just had like one of my first recordings. I just kind of I recorded it on a shitty cell phone, and I put it on YouTube like a couple years ago, and it just went over like 1,000 views.
Wow.
But it's so crap. I watched it because I was like, oh, I just noticed it went over, and I just wanted to kind of. It had been a while since I seen it, and I watch it, and I'm like, oh man, like just missing certain tags, and just where it's kind of awkward to watch. But I appreciate the compliment. I feel like I'm getting better every show. Hosting is kind of helping that.
Yeah, it's a path, and it's a hustle all on its own, and that's what we were talking about. Continuing or whatever. So it's like I say I dabbled in it. It was definitely something like a lot of actors would be like, I would never do that. Where for me, I feel like it's a little bit of an edge to be like, I did it. You know, I was scared to do it, but I accomplished it. Even though I only did 6 shows, but it still counts as something. I was like sticking my toe in. But I feel like acting's a whole other hustle. Hard enough on its own.
Did you do the class when you were starting acting? You're just like, I'm just trying to, or was it just something along your acting, path that you're like, this is going to help me in the long run? So
yeah, this was just like an add-in.
Yeah.
Because acting I've been doing for a long time. Like since I was a kid. I always knew I wanted to professionally act, but my parents were like, no, not until you're done university. So they were like, I'd see all these kids. I knew some kids growing up that had agents, and I was like, I want an agent. I was so jealous. But, I just did it more for fun growing up. Did a lot of theater, musical theater, all that stuff. And then slowly started, after I graduated, to take some more professional on-camera classes. And then Second City and all this, and then slowly started auditioning professionally, and then like worked my way up with different agencies. And again, so it's a whole different hustle. So the stand-up hustle, like I respect it so much, and the late nights and the whole culture of it. But I realized I don't think that's my like path. But never say never. You never know. Like that's one of those things which I also love about it, where it's like you can get in and out of it whenever you want. Like if you want to, take time off or go back into it. Of course, you're going to be better the more you do it, but in like 20 years from now, be having that elderly material.
I'm not that guy. Like, I am not what people would consider edgy, you know? And it's like, it's not...
You look edgy.
I do, right? It's like this weird thing, but like, no, I just like being silly. I like being more silly. Like, my thing is like, and don't get me wrong, like, I definitely like political humor and like more serious people that joke around about race and whatever the case is. Like I think anything can be funny if done
off limits for you.
I wouldn't say off limits, but and for me it's like when I'm on stage I don't like people to think about all the bullshit outside of the walls. It's kind of just like a little escape, whether it's like I make you laugh by like my pants falling down or by having just a really good punchline, whatever the case is, like you're laughing.
Right.
I don't even really try to write anything about politics. There are people like Rogan and Dave Chappelle who can, nail that kind of stuff. And I enjoy it when people do it well. But like, I never wrote a Trump joke. And I guess it's kind of it's a little bit on purpose.
Yeah.
But it's also about, also what I think. I'm like, what can I bring to the table? What do I like? And it's weird, too, because I feel like my influences and, like, people that inspire me are completely different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like earlier people that inspire me are, like, Jim Carrey and, like Rodney Dangerfield. And I wouldn't consider these guys like my favorite. Don't get me wrong, I love Jim Carrey. But like when I think about comedians, I wouldn't consider them my favorite comedians. But when I think about who contributed to what I want to bring to the table and what I think is currently missing, because I feel like there's a lot of comedians that are trying to be edgy but are just assholes and they can't really own it, and it shows. Even when you're an asshole and you can own it, it can be funny, you know?
Yeah.
But it's A lot of trying too hard, I think.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
I don't know if it's come up before. Who is your favorite female comedian? If you have one.
Female comedian. I really like Whitney Cummings. And just beyond like her stand-up, like she's got a lot of things going. I really like Two Broke Girls, which was like, you know, her child, basically.
And I wanted to ask you too. We're going to get into movies later.
For sure.
Do you know what the Bechdel test is?
No.
Because I thought this might be interesting for your audience as well.
Okay. What's the Bechdel? With the B?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's in a movie. To pass this test, you have to have two female characters in a scene together. This is a lot of information, I know. Two female characters that have names. So it can't just be like an unnamed character, like a store clerk or something. Two characters that have names, that have a conversation about something other than a man. And I know it sounds basic, but once you start watching movies this way, you're like, oh wow, there's not as much female representation as you think. Because sometimes there's like one female character in a movie, but it's something interesting to think about.
Yeah, I've never really thought about that.
No,
so maybe
I know.
I'd have to go. But I do watch.
There's
to
websites
be honest,
too,
there's a lot of like kick-ass female leads right now.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot. Like we're gonna talk about like a bunch of stuff over the like the best of the year, you know, kind of when we get into top 5. But like I've have like just this year I got. Have you seen Made? The show Made?
Yes, I think I do have it on my top 5.
Did that pass that test?
I believe so. I believe so, yeah. It is more of a movie thing, but I think it can be applied for TV as well, or anything. But
Dead to Me is also like another female-led show that is just like kick-ass for me. Handmaid's Tale. Yeah. Like there's so many that I'm like watching right now. Yeah. And to be honest, it has nothing to do with, you know, my girlfriend. Like sometimes our tastes align, and sometimes they don't. But these are just like really kick-ass shows, and I'm gonna try it out. I feel like it would be better to watch one of those shows and kind of test it than because I feel like most wouldn't pass that test, eh?
Yeah, it's surprising. Like you think it's kind of a basic test, but yeah. Something I definitely think about more now in writing and things that I watch.
The Bechdel test.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm definitely going to try it out. So are there like roles that you try to avoid because based on like, you know, things like that?
I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of not at that point in my career to turn like a lot down.
Fair.
Although I don't know. One thing, like, my family, a saying that they had growing up, that my dad would say a lot, is, like, you can sell your soul for any price, but you could never buy it back. So I know it's kind of deep, but, like, it's kind of like doing nudity or certain things. And it's like, once that's out there, it's like, that's out there forever. Forever. Especially with the internet, with everything else. So I like to be challenged, but, you know, there has to be some limits. So it's kind of a case-by-case basis, really. There's nothing I really, like, I guess, avoid. Because I also would like to play characters that are not like me and, like, have a challenge. And as an artist, to explore other worlds. And it doesn't necessarily mean, like, I am that character, right? Where it's, like, if it was a racist character or something like that, or a murderer or this or that, doesn't mean I'm like that or I support that. But it's showing that world.
I know. I always think... like to be those super bad guys in movies, like the really bad villains, and just nail it, but then just be known as like, oh, he's that rapist from this show.
You get typecast.
Like how do you get away from that? That's got to be difficult. Or even like something I've thought about like so many times, and I generally don't like seeing it. I'm not sure exactly what it adds or when along the line it became like a thing. I understand what they're trying to do, but like rape scenes are just generally super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
There's only one movie that I was like, by the end of it, I was like, I felt like it was appropriate for the kind of movie it was. The first I Spit on Your Grave.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
I saw one of them. I don't know if it was the original or the remake.
But like really like stomach churning stuff. But then by the end you're like, oh!
It justifies the redemption and everything. So one thing that I'm working on now, and I want to show you pictures after, is we're doing a fan film for Hellraiser. Are you familiar with Hellraiser?
Yeah.
Pinhead. So I'm really excited about that, and it's going to be like probably about a 15-minute, just like a fan film for the fans of these kind of characters. And yeah, it's, you know, it's like the torture and the chains and like the craziness, but the people that like it love it, and then other people, I'm like, it's just not for you. Like, it's just not for you.
A lot of fake blood.
Yeah. We also used a real meat from a cow as a fake brain, which I don't know if I would do that again because it kind of makes a mess. And then I was really paranoid about like getting salmonella poisoning and cleaning everything up.
Okay.
But it's cool to try to create different gory effects, and it's fun to make. But on the other hand, it's like there's a lot of people it's not appropriate for.
It's fairly niche, I guess.
Yeah. It is.
But I enjoy those old school like slasher movies, so
yeah,
I'm kind of excited as you're telling me about that.
Yeah.
But back to the female comedian thing.
Okay.
Who are some of your like? Also, like I didn't really like Ali Wong and Christina P.
Yeah.
Kristen Shaw. Have you ever seen her stand up?
I don't know.
She's like the female Andy Kaufman, man.
Oh, I love that.
Watch her stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down after.
Oh my god, to be honest, I've only ever seen one whole special and then like other clips. But like very out there.
I love that.
And it's super awkward for the audience, and it's just
it's an experience.
It's like something where you're just like, oh, she is Andy Kaufman. Like
That's
she
so
brought
cool.
him back. Like it's just awesome. She needs to do more.
That reminds me of Maria Bamford. Well, not exactly, but just like, do you like her? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I feel like I know the name, but
she had a Netflix show too, and some specials. Blonde, like kind of has like a cool voice and like very weird.
Maybe if I saw
You'd probably know her. Maria Bamford. I like Amy Schumer. I like her. She's fun. Sarah Silverman.
Silverman's good too. Yes.
Yeah. Great. So many that I'm blanking on right now. But also, like, I grew up really liking Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, eh?
Just, like, the clean, like, the, like, something about his whole aesthetic, and I think it's, like, kind of timeless.
I've had a weird...
experience.
I don't want to say a relationship, but fuck it.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, a weird kind of relationship with Seinfeld, and, like, as I was younger, the show didn't appeal to me. I was like, oh, this is for old people, and, like... Earlier this year, I started watching. I'm like, well, I'm kind of older. It came from, like, I did 2 things at Second City, and Jim McAleese, I can't remember exactly how to pronounce his last name, but he was, like, our first teacher, and he loved Seinfeld, and he told us to watch this documentary. I guess it's just called Comedian.
Yes, I love that one.
And I watched it and I was like, man, even though I don't like his show and I haven't liked any, like, really of his stand-up specials that I saw up until that point, I really started seeing what he brought to the table. And then, I don't know, I've really kind of been enjoying Seinfeld, to be honest. I think I'm on season 7 now. Or the end of season 6. Yeah.
Especially going in with not seeing it ever, and then you have like this...
Well, I saw a little bit back in the day, but I never watched it, so like only like certain things like the Soup Nazi and like the parking garage episode. Like I remember parts of those from back in the day, but yeah, it was really all fresh to me, and it was just, or it has been enjoyable.
Remember that clip of Michael Richards when he was at the Comedy Store?
Has he ever recovered from that?
I don't know. I feel like not. No comeback, like nothing.
I think they did. They addressed it on Curb Your Enthusiasm at some point.
Oh, man.
Yeah, where he was
what
like,
a time.
He was like doing a scene with, I don't know who it was, but it was a black actor, and they were like talking about, oh, there's something about there would be a name for this, and they kind of they looked at each other, and it was like this just weird. It's like, what are you guys trying to do here? Like, it doesn't seem like a good idea to bring it back up. Like,
yeah, it doesn't.
I don't know, but I don't think you can recover. That was like earlier on, pre Me Too. I feel like nowadays, like everyone's just there's such a low tolerance for shittiness.
Yeah.
That he would never recover. It still blows my mind that like Chris Brown has recovered. Like, who's... Like, what do you mean? Like, how do these... I don't understand how shitty people become famous, you know?
And stay famous and stay...
And I'm not searching for fame. None of this has anything to do with fame. This all has something to do with, like, somehow eventually maybe maintaining a living doing comedy and podcasting and take it anywhere, voice acting like I was saying a little earlier, like wherever I can go, like just doing something that I actually enjoy doing. Like, do you have a 9 to 5 right now?
Well, more like a 4 to 11.
Okay.
But I do have a Joe type job in the distillery district. Work in events, so like serving, catering type thing. And I've been there for such a long time that it does feel like home to me, and there's some perks and great people. Although over like the quarantine time, it was really nice to like not do that at all and just focus on the auditions and creative stuff and having that time off. Like, I did miss the people, and I like being active. Like, I like jobs that I can be on my feet and walk around in movement. And I like interacting with guests. I do like enjoy that, and a lot of it is weddings, which it's kind of nice to kind of ruin weddings for me in a way. But also I kind of like being a part of it. It is fun. It's like important days in people's lives. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how long that's going to be in my life for, but I think if you sign up to be in the entertainment field, you do need something flexible as well, as you probably know, like on the side or as something. But so it might be like, well, you may be in the hospitality industry for a long, long time, off and on, right? And that's okay. Like, I accept that in a good way, you know? Because I do feel like it is like a privilege to kind of even get to pursue an acting lifestyle and do that stuff. So I think it's really lucky, but it does come with, it's like, okay, you got to balance that out with maybe doing some other stuff that, like, I don't love late nights, as I was saying earlier. I like to get my sleep. So I do work in this industry where sometimes it's going to be a little bit of a late one, but then you make up for it. I know because you have a job, but I don't know do you talk about it on the show?
Yeah.
What is it that...
Chef.
Okay, I knew you... Like, I heard you had done it in the past. I know you're still doing that.
Yeah, I went to school for that.
Oh, wow.
And have been doing it for a bit, but... I don't know. I lost a lot of passion when I was working for Moxie's for like 5 years.
Corporate, the whole...
And a lot, yeah, and like... Now I'm... Okay, like I've done a lot in the culinary, I guess, industry. And I've done some weddings and stuff like that, like you were saying. But I was the guy who was like doing the live stations, like flambe or cooking like waffles or crepes or just doing things like in front of people inside the weddings.
Right.
I'm currently doing like a catering gig, and it's really just about hours for me now.
Yeah.
I have a lot of experience and kind of knowledge, so it's like... And this is not like bragging, but like it's something I was kind of missing a lot in my life. Like this is relatively new to me, but it's like once you kind of have like roots somewhere, it's just easier to find jobs. So I've been a little pickier. Just I've been able to be a little pickier because I have experience, and I'm like, I'm not taking shitty hours anymore. Like I've done that shit. Yep. I paid my dues. I'm done fucking working those shitty hours. So I'm just like kind of hunting for hours, and this is the best pay for the best hours that, like, you know, I've been able to find. I worked for them before COVID, and it took them a while to get me back, but I don't know, it's kind of enjoyable, but at the same time, I still don't like waking up going to it every morning, and that tells me, you know, all I really need to know.
I don't know. I wonder if it's like everything becomes a job after a while, you know? Like even I've had some friends that have had steady jobs like on TV shows and this and that. And I'm like, wow, like, but then after a while it's still like, yeah, you're getting up, you're going to the thing, you're doing, you know, like it does become like a routine and a job, and I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like that's why a lot of actors don't like to do shows. It's just because it becomes that kind of thing. And well, like obviously I'm not an actor, but from what I've read and from what I've
right.
talked to from a few people, like, it seems like, I don't know, just, it becomes that kind of 9 to 5 kind of vibe. But, I mean, I think it's all about, at the end of the day, what's worth it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if you really love something, like, it's worth it. Like, I don't feel... Sure. I don't really feel like I'm doing what I'm meant to do when I go to work for, the company that I'm at. Mm-hmm. And it's not like it's a bad place. No, like, it's a good place to be. Mm-hmm. Man, like I started when things started, like, kind of easing up a little bit and comedy started back, live comedy. Like, started up my show pretty much right out the gate. And the first couple months were good, and then these last couple months, it's just been like, I've been working a lot, and I haven't been focusing where I want to focus my time. I come home, and I'm fucking tired. Like, today and tomorrow are my days off, and I'm recording, like, 2 episodes of the podcast, and it's like, then I'm back to work, and I gotta edit. I gotta edit when I'm not at my 9 to 5, because I have an episode coming out on Tuesday, and it's like, I don't know. It's so freaking hard to find time to do comedy, and I don't want to give up the security of the 9 to 5. A lot of people have the belief that in order to kind of make it, you kind of gotta
all or
just
nothing,
fully commit. And it's just like previous experiences are preventing me from doing that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Would you ever want to do, like, touring?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Have you done that before?
I know, like, I haven't really done anything outside the GTA.
Okay.
I'm trying to get in at Absolute in Kingston. Mm-hmm. I just recently got the contact for, I don't remember his name, but the guy who runs Levity in Hamilton. Mm-hmm. But, like, I haven't really done anything outside the GTA. Brampton. Oh, wait, no, I did Muskoka once, but it was, like, this really weird show. There wasn't a lot of people. It was mostly, like, comedians. Got paid, but I don't know. I have connections in, like, BC and Winnipeg, so I know a few people, but I don't know. Where have you traveled for any acting gigs?
Not anywhere far. No, just a lot shoots in Hamilton, actually. A lot of the stuff I've done, TV shows and stuff. So that I love that, because then I get to stay at my parents' and see the friends and the fam and whatnot. But yeah, nothing really too far. GTA so far. I've had auditions for things that are like Vancouver, not a lot, but a handful of things in the Caribbean. And actually, that's one thing I turned down, is like anything that shoots in Mexico. I don't feel comfortable, like, going there. And I feel like, especially going with a film crew, like, I feel like maybe you kind of look like a target. I don't know. It's me being paranoid, but that's just something that I don't really like. I would feel very, like, vulnerable and, like, not speaking the language or whatever. Like, I don't know.
I don't think there's so much being done up here.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to go down there.
No, it's just certain random commercials that shoot.
Oh, like, yeah, like, even, like, places. Commercials,
they'll fly down, they'll do the whole thing, but that's just, like, something I'm not very interested in at the moment, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on with that, I want to say it right, but Deathmatch Dad?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Yes. Right. Absolutely right. So this is a feature that I was producing and have a role in with iReeves Films. That's my partner. And we had started pre-COVID. We shot maybe a quarter of this movie. Did a crowdfunding, went great, had a lot of people supporting of this. And then we did a big wrestling deathmatch show that went over so great footage, everything. And then, of course, COVID happened. So there is still some scenes that require crowds and shows. So it kind of feels... And we don't want the movie to have anything to do with COVID. Like, we don't want masks. We don't want that. So we're kind of either waiting for a little more normality or... But it is still going to happen. It's just going to be delayed. And I don't know. Movies take a long time to make. Like, feature films. And this is kind of like more of a first feature where there's a lot of things at play, a lot of people and budgets and things to kind of be figured out. But in the end, I feel like it will happen when it's like meant to, and kind of all. It'll happen. It'll happen
wrestling
when it's time.
Brings people together.
It
Are
is.
you actually a wrestling fan, or is this just kind of like a project that is like seems interesting?
Well, so my boyfriend Ian, he was a professional wrestler, and so we've been together a decade or so, and he's really into it. So I have like over the years come to appreciate it, and I do enjoy it. I do like it. You know, from like WrestleManias, he's more of a fan of like independent and deathmatch.
Is he like AEW?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like all this stuff. You should meet him one day. You guys would have a ball talking about everything. He loves like Nick Gage and like
Yeah. All right.
So much of that kind of stuff. So I do appreciate it. I see it as like an art form, and I do like it. I don't love it. Like, people do have a passion for it, obviously. And, like, I think some of it is, like, nostalgia for people because they grew up and, like, that was, like, one of their big things, like, one of their hobbies, right? So it's, like, that reminds them of, like, childhood or something they've, like, followed for, like, a really long time. And it's, like, a sport, too. It, like, brings people together, like you were saying, because people like certain characters and, like, it evolves and changes and is changing all the time. I love that show, too. It's not on my top 5, but that Vice show, and it's, like... Did you watch it? It's, like, the wrestling one. Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah, that was really interesting.
Really good.
Because there was a lot of like crazy stories in wrestling history of crazy times.
Shit, yeah.
Crazy times. Yeah.
But yeah, it is really. I've been trying to get my girlfriend into it because she likes a lot of documentaries, but she enjoys going to the shows. Like there's a promotion out of Mississauga that I go to, and like other shows, and she enjoys going to the live ones, but she doesn't really watch it with me.
No. You gotta work on her.
Hey, man. I feel like even outside of just, like, going to shows, like, I've had... Like, I don't drive, so I take the bus a lot. And, like, I just, you know, if you could just have... I was on the bus with my friend, and we were just chatting about wrestling. Like, we work together. And some guy gets on, and he, like, sits beside me, and he's, like, watching wrestling.
Aww.
And so I'm, like, you know, kind of, like, point to his phone, and he takes his headphone off. And then for, like, the next 45 minutes, we're just, like... full on like crazy conversation with this random guy just because he was watching wrestling. I've had people be like, "Hey, where'd you get that shirt?" Wearing a wrestling shirt, and it's like then we talk for, you know, half hour. It's I don't know. It brings people together. I'm very interested in that movie, and I think that a lot of people will be interested. It looked. If you're also looking for crowd, like man, let me know. Let me know. I so want to be there. Someone can as like a heel thing could like grab someone from the audience and put them through a table, and that could be me.
Okay, yeah.
I'll go through a table.
Yeah, that's definitely
no for real. Like that's like some dream shit of mine. Like I've had a couple wrestlers on the show, and like my buddy Mikey, he was on I think the second episode. Actually, I think he was. You were like, oh, you really like this episode. It was the second episode I ever had.
I probably did listen to that one.
And he does wrestling, and he's starting to like come up now, and he's been doing a couple shows like towards the end of this year, and I haven't actually got out to see him, but I will. And so like I kind of know if I really wanted to, I could maybe possibly get put through a table.
Oh yeah.
But that's like bucket list shit for me.
Well, then it's got to be done, you know? It's on the list, got to be done. I get it.
It's on a list.
Yeah.
That's how lists work.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know about film composers.
Oh man.
Okay. Are you into like do you have when you think of one person, is there one that stands out in your mind, or do you have cuz you've made movies on your own, right? So how do you go about doing that?
Well, I have a very good editor. So someone that kind of knows that world and can get licensed free stuff, or there's certain websites that have music and they're like, you know what, we just want to be credited, like it'll be free, or you pay a small amount or whatever. Like there is a lot of great independent stuff out there. Also some people can like make their own little beats on different things. I haven't done that. And I know that's like a whole job of like curating. I don't have like one specific person that comes to mind. Like I know that's like a whole industry in itself that is like so important. And I did learn in like a producing course that music should be about 20% of your budget, which depending on your budget, but that it is really important. And
I wouldn't even have guessed it would have been that much.
Yeah, I mean,
but I guess they can get pretty elaborate, you know.
Yeah, and it depends if you're trying to get like a song that's, you know,
a radio that too. I wasn't even thinking about that. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Oh no, you're thinking of like scoring.
Yeah, and like the 30-piece orchestra or some shit like that. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
but
no.
Yeah,
I'm not working with big budgets yet, but
I don't imagine you've had that. You're not working with like John. See, when I think of that, John Williams, that's my guy.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not into like Star Wars. I know he's done a lot of stuff, you know, and
he's one of the greats.
Home Alone.
So good.
But that's what I think of. Do you have like favorite directors?
You know who I really love, and I just saw a documentary, Kevin Smith.
Oh,
I love Kevin Smith.
I love Kevin Smith.
I just love the whole, like, his whole story, his whole attitude, and just, like, super indie, but, like, love the storytelling aspects, love all that. So he's definitely, like, one of my tops, top that comes to mind. And I do love,
That's awesome.
Movies and, like, so much appreciation for so many different people. I felt like 2021 was a little... We'll get to it. But
like when we're doing the things of the year. It hasn't been a great year for art in general, I don't think.
TV, I'll give it up to TV. Did not let me down. That was like, that was like my relaxation time and like, But not
the thing I like about Kevin Smith and a lot of people is just like, even as far as like Insane Clown Posse, and don't get it twisted. I really don't like their music. And they don't seem like good guys. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think if I was like to talk with them, I would enjoy, like, I just, you know, it's not my thing, but I respect that they've been able to just do what they do and make a living from that. Like, there's a lot of people that just...
People see that as a family, too. Like, that's like a community.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a whole...
And that's how I feel about, like, Kevin Smith or even, like, the Wayans brothers. It's like these people get, like, a lot of hate because they just do. But I'm like, they're just doing what they love to do and making a living. Yeah. And, like, I just think that, like, at the end of the day, that's the ultimate dream. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Do what you want to do. And, like,
I love those.
Don't try to make something for everybody because you probably won't. Like, try to make the things that you want to make and...
Yeah, obviously everybody can't make a living being themselves because they're shit. But, you know... Well, I mean, you gotta imagine, like, there's a good like, no matter what, it's probably... What do you think the 10% of shit people, or, like, maybe 15% in the whole world? Like, no matter what?
I don't know.
Like, cause,
I'm a bit of an optimist. I feel like
anyone
could turn it around.
It's more than that? More than 90%? I met a lot of crap people in my life.
Yeah, that's true.
But, like, that's my... I've talked about this before, I think, on here. But, like, Woodstock... Mm-hmm. Like, I actually watched it again recently, but this Woodstock 99 documentary on Crave.
Gosh,
did you watch it?
Yeah. That was
and so at the end of it, I was like, okay, but no matter what, no matter where you are, no matter what room, there's 10% of those people that are going to be shit. And I just thought there was... What, like 200,000 at that Woodstock? That's 20,000 people? I mean, you know, even less. Even if it was like, I don't know, 5%. What's that, 10,000 people?
Right. Yeah.
It's still a lot of shit people.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. It's true.
I feel like I had a point, and there was a reason I was going in this direction.
Well, we're talking about, like, statistically people being shit.
Okay, I trailed off from
that. That's
Kevin Smith.
Yeah, who's not shit, but.
What about underrated actors?
You know, I saw that up there, and it made me a little nervous because I feel like the people I like are not that underrated. Because when people like when you're an actor, they're always like, "Who's your favorite?" And I'm like, I love Kate Winslet, but I feel like she's not underrated. I feel like she gets some love.
I feel like I'm watching last night. I was super tired. I worked yesterday. Mm-hmm. So we only watched half of it, but The Holiday.
Classic.
Yeah. Classic. This is my first time watching it. I haven't seen it before. Yeah, it's been all right.
It's a good one.
It's pretty good.
Underrated. Oh. Well, I feel like if we know who they are, that means they're working and they're getting some jobs. So they're not too underrated. Or do you mean like underrated in terms of like awards or like I don't know. It's a hard
awards don't really mean much to me.
Yeah,
you know?
I get that too. I know because there's a lot of things that just like, especially now because there's so much content that it's like, how do you even? Not everyone gets recognized because there's just so much, and it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just there's more for everyone, which I think is great.
I think like a lot of the times there's more politics and money, and it's not really about what is the best. Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, it's more. But you know what though? I still kind of like an award show. Like I like watching the Golden Globes, and I like watching the Oscars, and like it's an escape thing too, right?
I don't really watch those, but the day after the Grammys, I like checking out the performances because they usually have like a good. Like I remember, there's a couple really epic. One was A Tribe Called Quest, and the other was Jay-Z, Paul McCartney, and Linkin Park. Like, are you kidding me? It's ridiculous to even think that all three of those, things could blend. And they did. It was like a Numb Encore Yesterday mix. Did you see that? Did you ever see that? Oh my God.
I don't know. Gonna have to look it up.
But like, the only reason I'm kind of into the Grammys after is not really about who won. It's just about like who performed.
Yeah, I get that. I remember when like Cardi B was at the Grammys.
I don't know.
And they performed
WAP,
and then it was like a whole.
Yeah, I think that was this year. No?
Was it Grammys or was it something
so.
else? Okay, yeah.
I think so.
But I was like, good, get some controversy, girls. Get it.
I didn't watch that. But
yeah.
I'm not hating on that.
No, good.
I think my guy, and maybe he's not underrated, but I just don't hear him brought up when people think of great actors. And everything I see, like one of his movies is in my top 5.
Okay.
We can get to that next.
I'm excited.
And I just think he always nails whatever he's in. And he's I guess you could kind of box him into one of those actors that's like he just gets roles where he just plays himself. But I think there's a little bit of, he's got a little bit of range.
Okay.
Jason Segel. How you feel about him?
I like him. I feel like he hasn't done a lot recently.
No, I feel like it's like one thing a year.
I like him.
Pretty much.
I think he's got depth. He's got, but he's kind of like a little bit of an everyman, which I always
His last couple have been like really, like I want to say his last 3 were Jeff Who Lives at Home, The Discovery, and Our Friend. Which are like completely. That was the one this year. If you haven't seen that,
I haven't seen it. I'll write it down.
Okay, we'll talk about that. But they're just not comedic roles at all.
Okay.
And that's generally. I enjoy him. I think he's really funny. Like I Love You Man's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
Yeah.
But I think. How do you feel about like comedic actors doing those switches to more dramatic?
Love it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's such a fine line that. Like in acting, comedy is drama, drama is comedy. Like it's all together. Like it's all the same thing.
Do any movies like stick out in your mind?
Well, one of my favorites of all time, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I think about Jim Carrey.
It's Kate Winslet.
Exactly. So that movie, epic movie, always on my mind.
All right, before we get into top 5,
yes,
you brought some treats.
Yes.
Not exactly sure what they are, but I'm really excited. You're the first one to ever bring something. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. This new store on Pate, north of the Danforth, that's like a new bento box, all like Asian import candies and stuff like that, and treats.
So are you close to the new comedy bar on Danforth?
Is that... What's it called?
It's just called Comedy Bar.
Oh, I didn't even know about it. Ooh. Was it the old dog one?
This is so cool.
It's like a mushroom.
A
chocolate. I don't know.
Like I don't know, some sort of crack. It kind of looks like the Nutella sticks.
Not bad. Nice little light. I don't know where that bar is, but that's cool.
Yeah,
just
opened.
The one that used to be the dog one?
I think it opened this week.
Oh.
I'm not exactly sure where it is. Have you ever gone to Greektown Wrestling?
No. No, but I would definitely check it out. It's probably in my neighborhood.
Yeah. I think they have a show. It's horrible timing. I don't know who's putting shows on like a couple days before Christmas, but they have one I think on the like 22nd or the 23rd.
Well, you know, maybe it's close enough where people are like not working. I don't know.
Maybe.
They want to do stuff.
What's this?
I don't know. It looks like a gum, but I feel like it's another. They have a lot of weird.
Those are delicious, by the way. Those chocolate mushroom pretzel things.
Yeah. I feel like you're not picky. Like do you not like any food?
Well.
And you're a chef, so I mean, you've probably tried a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, but I don't eat. Like I was a vegetarian for a while.
Me too. A long while.
And I only eat chicken now.
No red meat.
And still a bunch of like veggie stuff. But even in culinary school, when you're learning, it's very important to. Sorry, I'm trying to chew this.
Was that supposed to still be running?
Oh, it's good.
Okay. I'm always concerned about technical aspects.
No, there's so many people that are like, hey man, I think it's frozen. No, it's
like,
just
it's fine.
Yeah, it's good. In culinary school, it's very important to taste everything, and your chefs are always like, just taste everything. And so, even though I didn't really like eat like lamb and all this like weird shit that I was cooking and stuff, other than seafood, because seafood's like legit. Like, there's a couple things that I won't go near.
Oysters.
You know, like I just hate the smell of seafood.
Really? I love seafood. It's my fave.
So I didn't try any of that.
Wow.
And what else? What else did we do? I don't know, but I feel like I tried most of it. Like I tried rabbit in culinary school. Like I would never. I tried. What's the foie gras? Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Yeah. Some bougie.
Tried that.
Bougie stuff. I tried it. I thought it was okay.
It was weird.
Have you tried oysters?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
No, I just... The thing about seafood, to be honest, is I grew up in foster homes, and I was told early on that I was allergic to seafood. So, like, my whole life, I thought I was allergic to it. And, like, just smelling it and stuff kind of...
Why? Because of foster? Like, why did they tell you that?
I have no idea. I think it was just like maybe like a broken telephone type scenario
like,
where it's like
to seafood.
Someone said, "Oh, he might be allergic to this," and then they were just like, "Oh, you're allergic," or I don't know exactly
That's
how.
So bizarre.
But like I was told that I was allergic to it, and so like it always was just
I'd be terrified.
Something I stayed away from, and I didn't like the smell of.
Yeah.
And so for like most of my life, it was just this bad thing, and then I found out that I wasn't. I got an allergy test done when I was like 20. And I wasn't allergic to it. The damage had been done, I think.
Have you tried goat?
I feel like I have. I've tried... When I ate meat, I also tried a bunch of weird stuff. Like bull testicle.
Whoa.
And like... what else? Like moose.
Okay.
Deer, I guess that's not super weird. Venison's not super weird. I don't know. I tried some things. I tried calf brains once.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like some young girl was working at our foster home, and where she was from, it was like a delicacy. And she always talked about it like it was this cool thing, and then she brought a bunch of it for us to try. It's like the grossest thing I've ever had, to be honest. It wasn't even just like the flavor; it was like the consistency. It was like kind of like a thick pudding, where it's like. You could just squish it against the roof of your mouth.
Oh,
and it,
good. No.
No good. All right. Top 5.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to start with movies? Should we start with that?
Let's get movies over with because, like I had mentioned, I feel like it was a little bit of a disappointing
Not a great year.
But I do want to preface with saying 4 movies that I want to see that have not come out yet. I'm sure people have heard of them. If not, keep them on your radar. House of Gucci. Really want to see it. Did you see it?
No.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, of course, getting a lot of buzz. Nightmare Alley. Have you heard of that?
No.
Bradley Cooper.
Oh, you know what?
Coming out very soon.
I think I saw it last time It's coming out in theaters,
It's like
right?
a carnival thing, and yeah.
Yeah.
The Humans. This was like a family drama with Amy Schumer, actually.
Okay.
It was at TIFF. I didn't get to see it this year. And Licorice Pizza. It's a new Paul Thomas Anderson movie coming out.
Licorice
Have you heard of that?
Pizza?
That one?
No.
You know PTA, right? Paul Thomas Anderson.
I don't know. What else has he done?
Like all like Magnolia.
Oh, okay.
You would know him.
Yeah, okay.
So those movies are coming that I want to see that I've not seen yet. So, and like I said, this year was a little iffy. So I wrote like lists and then I was like of things I saw and then like tried to like highlight. Also, I wanted to talk about quickly Bad Trip because it was listed as coming out in 2021, but I think I saw it before 2021. Did you see Bad Trip?
I did.
Did you like it? Eric Andre?
I enjoyed the non-scripted stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy
the
scripted stuff.
Fair enough. I just thought it was really funny, and rarely do I see movies that I get to like laugh out loud.
I like that it had what's her name from Bones. I hadn't seen her in a while in like anything. The main woman in the movie that he's like trying to chase the art. She works at the art place.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
She's the artist or whatever.
So I just wanted to give that a quick shout out because I liked it and I thought it was different. But otherwise, did you see Vacation Friends?
No.
Do you know what that movie is? John Cena's in it.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a buddy kind of
He's
two
funny.
couples on vacation. It was funny. I enjoyed it.
What is it called?
Vacation Friends. And
okay.
I heard they're also
I
getting
definitely
a
want to check that out. Yeah.
Last Night in Soho. It's going on the list. Do you know anything about this movie?
Nope.
Did you watch Queen's Gambit? Like, I feel like everyone watched Queen's Gambit.
Here's
the
the
chess show.
I didn't like it.
Okay, it's fair. But you know what I'm talking about. Did you watch all of it? Or just, like, a little bit?
I watched the beginning. My girlfriend watched it all. She loved it.
It got better.
Yeah?
Fair enough. But the chick, Anna, the beautiful chick from Queen's Gambit, she's in Last Night in Soho.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thriller. It's kind of takes some turns. It's like, it was beautifully shot. Yes. So, that's 3. Dash Cam. This was a TIFF movie I saw, which was really cool. And shot a lot from a dash cam POV. Kind of gory. It's like a found footage, but mostly through the dash cam. So that
Could you find it online?
I don't know. I didn't look, but you should. You should be able to find it.
I kind of like movies like that. Like, did you like VHS?
I liked VHS. Yeah. Did you watch the newest one?
No, I've seen the first 3. Third one wasn't the best.
Yeah.
But I'd definitely check out a 4th one still. The first 2 were,
Yeah, the new one's out. Actually, my friend's in it. He's a soldier in it.
Okay.
Shout out to Drew. And it was fun. It was good. King William. Did you watch that one?
No.
It's the Will Smith about Serena and Venus Williams. The 2, tennis players.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they made a movie about... It's more about them getting to being pro. So it's like them as children. Mm-hmm. And so that's like, some people were mad that it was called King William. They're like, really? They made a movie about Serena and Venus and they call it King William, like, about the dad? But the story is a lot about the dad and getting them there. Will Smith, probably his best performance.
He's the dad?
He's the dad.
Wow.
Yeah, this is his...
How did I not know about this movie?
King William. I believe it is on Netflix now.
I love
you
Will
should be able to... Yeah, you gotta check it out. He's phenom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Titan. Have you heard of this movie? Probably not. Nope. It's like an kind of obscure French film. Saw it at TIFF. It's like 3 movies in one. It covers so many different topics. It is subtitles. How do you feel about subtitles? Okay. You'll do it.
I am fine with them, but like, my girlfriend got me into it. She showed me some things with subtitles that were just phenomenal, and I was like, all right, if it's done really well, you can kind of get past it. But
Well, this movie, it's actually a lot about the visuals and the music. There's a lot of important songs in this movie, and it does some weird things in this movie that I've never seen. You know what I like about movies, too? When it gives you an experience. Like, where you feel like not just you're watching something, like, half in, half out. Like, when you are, like, in this world and, like, completely immersed in it and is, like, what is happening? What's going to happen next? Like, it's almost like you don't believe what's happening, and then when it's over, you're still thinking about it, you know? Like, that's an experience to me. I love those kind of movies. And Titan you have to see just because it's so weird, and this little girl starts off, she gets in a really bad car accident, gets some titanium in her head, and some wild stuff happens. She changes her identity. She's a psycho. There's so much that happens in it. That's my top 5. Okay. Oh, and can I say 2 bad movies?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
I don't like to be a hater. I don't like to be a hater.
No, do it.
But I was really excited for Spencer, which was the Kristen Stewart as Princess Diana movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I wanted to see it at TIFF. I was like so hyped on it. to get to see it. And all the TIFF movies this year I saw were at home, by the way, like the rentals. But Spencer, like, I was really kind of disappointed by it. It was just, she was great, of course, but it's just really slow and, like, I don't know who would like that movie. Like, even some older people that I know that saw the movie just didn't really connect with it. I don't know. So kind of a disappointment. And Finch. It's like a Tom Hanks as, like, with a robot and a dog only in the movie, and it was...
No.
It was weird. I don't know. Not to hate on it, but that's just my opinion. So.
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess it's kind of... It's not right to say about Tom Hanks because he did it with Castaway, but there's not a lot of actors that can pull off those movies where it's just...
trying to recreate it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like in a weird, like... I get it. But anyway, I want to
Jake Gyllenhaal did a good one this year where it was just him. What was it called?
That should have been on my list too. That was phenomenal.
The Call? Fuck, I can't remember what it's called. But that was good.
What we're talking about. Jake Gyllenhaal as the ambulance driver. That was really good.
That was really good. That was really most of it was just in that room. And I was like, this is like...
There were a couple other actors in it.
Yeah.
Which I like because it wasn't just... Because everyone's like, it's just him. But there is other scenes with other people. But yeah, that movie was an experience movie too. Because I was like, what is happening? Are these people going to be okay? You need to watch it till the end because that one too takes a lot of turns. Is that on your top 5?
A lot. It's not.
But it
could be an honorable mention
Absolutely.
for sure. Okay. I didn't think he'd be able to do that role as well as he did.
Yeah.
You know, I love those surprises. All right. I got a lot of... It was funny because I just wanted to check the movies that came out after I made my top 5 and then I double-checked and I was like, it could have been all superhero movies. We definitely have different... It's not that I have different tastes because I definitely like some of the movies that you said. But Justice League, the Zack Snyder's Justice League is my number 1. It's just a movie I've been waiting... The 4-hour one.
Okay.
That's my shit.
Yep. Get that.
Been waiting years for that. The Suicide Squad. That's definitely my number 2. I don't really know what I can say about that. All these to me are like 10 out of 10. Our Friend with Jason Segel. This, I feel like the other 2 are like you would know who they are too, but I can't really remember their names. I watched it because it had Segel in it, and it's very. Like, basically, the story is he's the best... The story is about a couple that's going through the wife's cancer, but from the perspective of the best friend.
The wife's best friend?
Both.
Okay.
He's both their best friend. Okay. And watching it, my girlfriend's be like, I think there's something between the wife and him. And I was like, you know, people can love each other and not want to fuck each other, you know, and just care about each other. And, like... I didn't get that vibe at all, and it wasn't that at all.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, really, really well done. What's that? Shang-Chi.
That made the list.
It made the list. I think it's, to be honest, I think it's one of the best Marvel movies to date. Well, Marvel part of, like, the MCU, like this whole shared universe thing they're doing.
Canada
I think it's one of the best. Oh, man. So good.
Did you watch Kim's Convenience ever?
No.
With our boy in it?
No.
Our boy in it?
He's in it? He's in Kim's Convenience?
Isn't he the main guy?
I don't know.
The main guy, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Asian guy.
In Kim's Convenience? Or in Shang-Chi?
In both. Like, he's the son in Kim's Convenience.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
From, like... I don't think it's Toronto, but it's, like, somewhere around here. GTA, we'll say.
No, yeah, but yeah, like, a lot of that was filmed in Toronto. I love watching movies, especially ones that I like love, and I'm like, oh shit, this is Toronto. Yeah. And to be real, filmed this a little bit before Christmas, and Spider-Man: No Way Home isn't out yet, but like, I can guarantee it's going to be on my top 5. It might be higher on the list, somewhere else on the list, but I had to give it the 5th spot because I know that it's gonna be on my top 5. I'm so hyped for this movie.
I love Zendaya. Okay, also for the superhero category, because you said top 5 superheroes, I didn't know if this was gonna be like superhero movies, superheroes in general of 2021. So I do want to note that I just wrote, because I'm not like super into the superhero world, a little bit, but I put Spider-Man trailer, No Way Home, in my top 5 superheroes.
Okay, so let's go through the superhero
we do that now?
then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, have you heard of Invincible? It's a cartoon. Super. Did you like it?
I haven't watched it.
It's really good.
I know about it. I'm gonna watch it.
So I'm putting that. It's based on a comic as well. J.K. Simmons voices. So that is one. The Spider-Man trailer, number 2. I did put Suicide Squad, especially Harley Quinn. Loving it. WandaVision I put on the list because I enjoyed it.
Wow.
There
she
enjoyed
is.
it. I liked it. I like WandaVision. I guess that's considered it's considered a superhero-ish, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then I also wrote, does this count? Free Guy. Did you watch that movie with Ryan Reynolds?
I want to watch it.
I don't know if it's more of like a video game, and he is like a character in this game, but he has some powers acquired through the game. So I'm just gonna leave it. I think it's a fun movie. Didn't make my top 5 movies, but it's something to check out if you're in the superhero world.
Definitely am gonna check it out. I am actually a fan of Ryan Reynolds. I'm a big fan of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
And
who isn't?
Just a little footnote here.
Yeah.
The guy who, the guy who did the new intro for Pillow Talk, like the animated, and he also did. I have like a 1-minute animation on my YouTube.
Oh, cool.
He did both of those, and he also does like a lot of the effects for these. So he did stuff for Free Guy. He did
cool.
Shang-Chi stuff. He does like background effects. Yeah.
Small world. That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's killing it. Shout out to Jeremy Fisher.
Shouts. What's your superheroes?
Superheroes. Okay, so like I wasn't thinking like movie wise.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I do mine often. I'll go through them quick.
Okay.
Batman.
Classic.
Red Hood. You know Red Hood?
No.
Okay, Red Hood is Robin. Okay, so there's been a few Robins.
Okay.
And once they leave from being Batman's sidekick, they become like their own people.
Fair enough. They gotta move up in the world.
And so that's just that's one of the ex-Robins. And Arsenal, who's basically he's another. My thing is, like, I have a lot of comics. I'm pretty heavy into this world. Yeah. And you didn't even really need to. You could have said, like, your mom, if she was, like, meant a lot to you. You could have done anything, really. You know?
I thought about it.
But I like, especially when I'm, like, reading, I find the more interesting stories are about the human superheroes.
Interesting.
I'm like, oh, like, what does Superman have to lose? And, like, I just have created all these things. Like, a 3-year-old could take out Superman if she has some kryptonite. Like, there's no 3-year-old that could take out Batman. Like, all this, you know, and I just think they have more to risk, and they're just interesting. So, like, my top 3 are just humans. Arsenal is basically, like, what is it, an archer? Where you shoot a bow and arrow? Is that what they're called? Archers?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I was getting that right. Yeah. Spider-Man's my number 4. And Shazam is my number 5. And that movie was also filmed in Toronto. Yeah.
Nice.
Big things happen in Toronto. Now they're doing another film studio.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much work going on down there.
Yep.
It's just going to get bigger.
Love it.
What do we want to do? Shows?
Can we do that one last?
You want to do that last?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Albums, like music.
Okay.
Did you come up with a 5? It was hard for me to come up with a 5 for this.
To be fair, the days of listening to full albums are not really a thing for me anymore.
Okay.
But the main thing I listen to be honest, is podcasts. Like, I listen to a lot of podcasts. So instead of doing full albums, I did like artists.
Okay.
Just because I wanted to contribute something.
No, that's fair. Maybe I'm like, you know,
but
maybe I'm old school.
I know, I get it though, because like the albums are still released. It's like, you know, you heard that whole thing about Adele.
I did,
on
yeah.
Spotify,
I thought that was hilarious.
About like not being able to shuffle her album because she's like, this is in order for a reason. And I was like, I get that. So
yeah, it's like an experience, like you were saying with the movies. That's what she's trying to
go
bring.
through the journey, whatever. So I didn't really do albums, and I realized everything I wrote on this list are things that just make me like go like this.
All right.
Like, and dance and be happy. Megan Thee Stallion, any of those songs. I just love her message. Just like female empowerment. I don't really know her. She's just always singing about like, I'm so hot, I'm the best, I'm amazing. And it's like, you need a confidence boost. It's like, all right, Megan, let's go. Like,
okay.
And it's got like some good like beats, whatever. Megan. Doja Cat, same thing. Just like, so, she's got a weird voice, but like it's fun. I like it.
Those things, look, weirdnesses like... imperfections are what make, like, Steven Tyler. Like, if his voice wasn't all fucking weird, Aerosmith would not be Aerosmith. You know what Johnny Cash. Those things are what make artists unique, and I think those should be celebrated more than, like, it's got a weird voice. Who cares?
Yeah, it's just fun.
So you know who Everlast is?
Yes.
Everyone fucking hates. Well, it's a guy, but he performs with a band. Okay. Yeah.
That's going back a bit.
But he catches a lot of shit for his voice, but I love it. I love those weird voices.
I also wrote down Lil Nas X. I like that this guy's getting a lot of attention and making a lot of waves. He did that thing with the fake Nikes and put real blood in it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And his songs, and I feel like I'm glad there's a place for, like, this kind of artist today, because I don't feel like there's a lot of, like, gay people in hip-hop that have a spotlight, and I like some of those songs, and so I wrote him down, and then I went 4, and then, of course, I had to write Drake. I know you're not a fan, but, you know, I love Drake. I love him, okay?
I'm not really a fan of anybody. You said, I don't know a lot of Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
But I have mad respect for Lil Nas X. Like, I love what he's doing, and I love that he's pissing people off.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
it. Exactly. That's what I'm
keep doing it. It doesn't have to be for me, you know? Yeah. I've always looked at music like, for me anyway, there's 3 different types. There's music that is, like, made for money, which tends to be shit. There's music that I love, and then there's music that I respect. Like, you know, obviously the music I love, I respect, but then there's music that, you know, I don't necessarily listen to, but I get what they're doing, and they have like ICP. Yeah. You know, it's like, hey man, I'm not a hater, you know?
Okay, I want to hear your albums.
Yeah. I had it was a struggle coming up. There wasn't a lot. It hasn't really been a good 2 years for most art. You say shows. I think shows have been really kicking off. Yeah. And or maybe we're just watching more.
Yeah, that's true.
But number 1, Limp Bizkit still sucks.
Ooh.
That's my shit. I fucking love Limp Bizkit, and I think it's a lot to do with what you were saying about, I guess, Megan Thee Stallion. About it's just great. Like empower, like so much of Limp Bizkit is about, like, self. It might not seem like that, but if you really listen, it is. Like, Fred was an outsider. Yeah. Even as, like, you know, a platinum record seller is still an outsider. You know, he's been there, and it's like, I don't know. I've always loved Limp Bizkit, and it's been, like, 8 years since their last album. Wow. So, Burn Everything That Bears Your Name by Vinnie Paz. He's my favorite rapper.
Okay.
Yeah, phenomenal album. What the hell do I have up there? Oh, The Things We Can't Forgive by Slain. Another second favorite rapper. Put out an album this year. Really good. The Funeral in the Raven by Jedi Mind Tricks. Oh, I'm thinking about it. It seems like, well, I guess most of it is like hip hoppy. Do you know Jedi Mind Tricks?
I feel like I've heard of it, but I can't really recall anything.
Vinnie Paz is in Jedi Mind Tricks, so that's like 2 albums he put out this year.
Okay. Well.
You know, so like we've been pretty. If you're a Vinnie Paz fan, you've been spoiled. And my 5th one hasn't been released yet.
Oh, okay.
But it's by my favorite band, so I know it's gonna fucking kick ass. Head PE. I don't know how it's pronounced. Califas Worldwide.
Okay.
It's coming out, I guess, end of December. So I'm really hyped about that. I'm sure it's going to be on the list. Might be a little higher, but... Have you heard the Limp Bizkit album?
No, I haven't. No, I'll check it out, though. Because to be honest, I liked it back in the day.
Man, like, and to be real, like, on this album, I like the more... It's a little different in the sense that the songs are shorter. And there's not... like, it's very... Like, all the songs have a similar structure to them, but they sound different. I like the more hip-hoppy songs that they did.
Cool.
I miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my top 5 albums.
Love it.
Specials. Okay. The worst.
Okay.
Did you watch a bunch?
I was so nervous about this question as well because I was like, oh my... Because, you know, there's some years you're watching a lot, some years you're not. So I wanted to... I didn't get 5. Okay. But I did watch recently They Ready, which was a Tiffany Haddish season 2. So
I like her.
I enjoyed this opportunity for her to spotlight some people that have been around doing it a long time that might have not got success. So they're 15-minute set or 15-minute episodes, but the sets are sometimes 10 to 15 minutes. Godfrey was one of the people. Aaron Jackson, Kimberly Jackson. Those are people I like. But really, there was only one comedy special, if you consider it a comedy special, that we really need to talk about. Ooh. I don't know if
we're gonna do it.
Agree or disagree. Did you see what I wrote down?
No, I didn't see what you wrote down, but I'm just assuming.
You're assuming? Okay, I don't know if we're on the same wave here. But Bo Burnham, inside.
No, we're not.
Okay, Bo Burnham inside.
That's on my list, though.
Is it? Okay, yeah. Thank God. Because I was like, what did I say? If you haven't seen this, it's I don't overhype it, but you could tell a lot of work went into this. I feel like he's a genius. Is that too much to say? Maybe.
He's up there, man. He's up there.
Even
his first special was great.
Oh God.
You know, so it's like
it's got some musicality.
I wasn't surprised.
Maybe if you don't like music or like musical, it's not even musical, but he has songs in it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's
I think he came out with like an actual album of just the songs.
Yeah, he did. He did. Because they're catchy. They're good songs. Yeah. And it's, I don't know if I think I had a couple LOL moments, but just that whole thing. Yeah. Okay, I want to hear yours. Let's go.
Didn't he start out as like a YouTuber too?
He did.
This is the thing. Like I remember before watching the first one and seeing him and being like, oh, like this guy isn't going to be funny. There's a lot of just 15, whatever, seconds or minutes, whatever, of fame because of TikTok and all these just stupid things. And I'm like, I want like real funny. I'm looking for people that are going for longevity, not just trying to be flavor of the month. And I just didn't give him the credit, and I watched it, and I was fucking blown away.
Damn.
But my number one is Chappelle, the closer.
Yeah. Okay. Controversial.
I mean that's that's what he does.
Yeah.
Regular People, Theo Von, which was actually just like a special of stuff I saw him perform 2 years ago in Toronto. Mm-hmm. Inside, gotta have that on there.
Chef's kiss.
You know who I miss? And he kind of, I don't know if it's not, he doesn't completely remind me of him, but there's shades of Dimitri Martin in him. No?
A little bit. Dimitri Martin? Yes, I do. I like him as well.
I miss him. Like, what happened to him?
In a while. Yeah, I don't
he
know.
disappeared.
He's probably doing something.
He had a really good show, Important Things with Dimitri Martin, too.
I don't think I saw it.
You never saw it? It was like a sketch show.
Okay.
It's so... I think I got canceled after like 1 or 2 seasons. Yeah, and after that, it was like I really had to figure out... Like, I've seen some, but I've none that I would be like, these are amazing. The top 3, I think, are all great. Nate Bargatze's my number 4, and his Average American... Or Greatest Average American.
Okay.
It was alright. It was decent. And Shame the Devil. Michael Che? Michael Che?
Che. Yeah, I didn't watch that, but
it was decent.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the one before this was better, but I mean, yeah, like we said, like there wasn't a lot to pick from. That might be the only 5 that I've actually seen that came out this year.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
All right. Does that leave the last category?
It does.
The one I'm most excited about.
Okay, so before we get into it, like I didn't put shows that I'm putting shows that did come out with like seasons this year, but not necessarily the first season.
Oh yeah, that
still
counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, same. Did you watch Hacks?
Hacks?
Yeah.
No.
So it's a Crave show, HBO, about a female stand-up who works with like a much older. Well, she's a writer, and she works with a much older female stand-up in Vegas. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. You might like it or you might hate it. Do you like things about stand-up? Like things that are not like non-fiction stand-up stuff?
Yeah. Like a little like Marvelous Mrs. Maisel was good.
Yeah.
In the beginning, and then I kind of just stopped enjoying it. But
you might like Hacks. I wrote Hacks because I really enjoyed it. I look forward to the new episode every week. You know, like that's when it's good. Mayor of Easttown. Going back to Kate Winslet. Did you watch that?
Nope.
It's It's good. A Journey as well. Like it's like a very like nail biter, like edge of your seat. That was a show. That
Is
was
that on? What's
that
that
was Crave, I believe, and that was
Right.
early in the year.
Okay.
So it's also interesting when you go back to like you're thinking about the whole year. It's like so much happened, so many things.
I'm seeing your list.
I know. I wrote a lot of things down.
I got some ones that I've seen some that we agree on. So.
Yeah. I Think You Should Leave is a sketch show.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to include it because it. Did you watch The Detroiters?
No.
I'm blanking on his name. Also a funny show. It's on Netflix. Think You Should Leave. Just sketch that's just like so silly, willy, so silly, but so fun, so dumb and fun. So 1, 2. Maid's gonna go on the list. I thought it was great.
Yeah, and I have like I don't want to say we're close, but like we've known each other since high school, and we've always been like really straightforward, and we're going through things. It's like she's been there for me, I've been there for her, and like she was currently going through like basically the exact same situation as you know that woman, the lead in that show.
Yeah.
And I like sent it to her, and like I didn't really realize maybe it would be like triggering or something like that, but she was just like, oh, like I couldn't even get through the
Just
first
like I
episode.
lived it. Yeah.
I'm like, that's my bad, man.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But it made you think of that person, right?
And it's a great show. I think eventually, you know, maybe when things settle and she's, hopefully she'll get into it because damn, it's so good.
Also.
Can I just say though?
Yes.
Very long road to get to where I was satisfied. I'm gonna be
Really?
real. Like
On the shows?
Oh, on Maid.
Oh, on Maid. Sorry. Yeah.
On Maid, it was like.
I think they're doing
Can
a second
something
season.
good happen, please?
Yeah, it's like enough already. But I had faith that it will.
Yeah, I did too.
One of my friends was like, you know, I just didn't buy that she was like a pretty white girl, like going through this stuff. Like that was like an advantage for her. I feel like, you know, like some people might not, like they didn't think it was as believable. I was like, oh, I still bought it, and I love the mom, Annie McDowell, and that's her real mom. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Groundhog Day. Like, did you ever? That's the same girl. Like the mom is from Groundhog Day.
Really?
Yeah. Annie McDowell.
Wow, and then her daughter in Maid is
Yeah.
her real life daughter.
Yeah.
Wow.
So cute.
Look at that. Facts. I just learned some things.
Also, Succession. Do you watch Succession?
No.
Before I came here to relax, I was watching the last episode that just came out. And this show, this is the 3rd season. And it's a banger. It's a banger show about these rich white family. And it's just, every episode it gets better and better. Great writing, phenomenal acting. On paper, I wouldn't think I would like this show, but there's just something about it. I'm addicted to it. I love it. And last but not least, one of my favorites of the year, Dave. Do you know anything about Dave?
No.
AKA Little Dicky, the rapper.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So he has this show on FXX. 2nd season came out this year with Gata. I don't know if you know Gata. He's also the star of the show, and it turns out his name is also Dave. You find out later on. But that show was so well done, and you're like, Little Dicky, whatever. But no, it's a great show. A lot of heart. It is I don't think it's based on his life, but he is kind of playing himself more or less, and so neurotic. They cover a lot of different topics, but comedically, so definitely recommend that show.
I could see checking that out. He's funny.
Love TV in general.
Yeah, I feel like I watch too much.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so Tacoma FD.
I've heard of that
always,
show.
Like, I would always see the ads, and then I started to recognize the people because they're the same guys that do Super Troopers.
Is this a firefighter one or no?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I have heard of this show. Okay.
And so I ended up checking it out, and they're currently on the 3rd season. It's almost, I think they have a couple episodes left. And it's just, for me, I just think it is the most, like, by far the funniest show, like, right now, I think. That I've seen. You know, obviously I haven't seen everything. But the writing is just so well done. And I'm not, like, one of those guys that's like, it needs to be smart. Like, I'm very much of... Like, an escape. I could, like, I like White Chicks, and I like Big Lebowski, I like American Psycho, you know, I mean, I can go all over the place. It doesn't have to be, like, and it's weird for me to say, like, smart, but I really do think it's smart. Like, it's really well thought out, and the joke, like, some stuff is just so funny. If you haven't seen it,
You gotta watch it.
highly recommend. Sweet Tooth.
I didn't watch that.
You didn't watch that?
I saw it on the list, but you loved it?
It was actually a DC property, and I just didn't know anything about him. I'm super happy it's DC because I'm a huge DC fan. Mm-hmm. And it's really touching, and I'm hoping they make a second season. But I mean, if it ends, it ended in a way that I'd be happy. Sometimes things don't need more, you know? I think... Yeah. Like, are there any shows that you can think of off the top of your head that you started off loving, that by the end of it...
It's a good question. And then I was, like, over it. I don't know. I'm such a completist, though. Like, I will keep watching. I'm like, I need to finish this. I need to see it through. But nothing that comes...
I try to be like that. Yeah. And if I'm watching, like... If I want to watch, like, the second part of something, I have to watch the first one first. Yeah. I'm that guy, too. But, anyways, Maid is my 3.
Love it.
It's got to be on there.
It's got to be on there.
Lost in Space.
Oh, I don't know that.
This is one of the shows, I find, for me anyway, there are a lot of shows that I start off liking, and then I'm like, it just doesn't keep me. Yeah. Lost in Space is one that, and if you've never seen it, it's definitely not for everyone. It's very, I don't know. I don't want to say niche, because I think it's pretty popular, but by the end of the 3rd season, I just thought it was going to end shit. And then just, it had me going. I was in tears at some points. And, like, the thing that I was, like, starting the 3rd season, my girlfriend, like, okay, if this happens, fuck this. I'm, like, getting rid of my Netflix account. And then, like, dramatic. Middle of an episode, no, for real, I was dead serious. I was like, I'm tired of Netflix having these shows that I'm just, I love, and then they ruin them. Like, I'm going to trail off here, but what was that one, it was like an end of the world. Oh. I had the guy from MacGruber. What's his name? And Kristen Shaw was in it.
Not Will Forte?
Will Forte, yeah. Okay. Last Man on Earth. That show was amazing.
And then it kind of...
Well, that...
I didn't need more of it.
I thought... Okay, towards the end, it was like, a bunch of things were happening that I wasn't happy with, but I was like, they could clean it up, give us one more season.
Fix it all up.
And I knew that they had only planned to have one more season, but then they got canceled. Oh. And so we didn't even get to, like, the explanation and be able to clear things up, and I hated that. Yeah. And so that was, like, I don't know, heartbreaking. Mm-hmm. I didn't want that to happen to Lost in Space, but thankfully, ended amazing. Number 5, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Are you a Larry David fan? Yes. Or just Seinfeld? Okay.
No, I'm a fan. I'm not caught up on, like, the new. Because it's still happening right now, right? Yeah. Like, new episodes are still coming up. This Sunday night, HBO. It's Succession, Insecure, which I also love, then Curb. I'm like, it's a lot of hours of TV, but all standout shows.
Yeah, he nails it. And it's funny now that I actually started watching Curb before I started watching Seinfeld. Now I'm watching Seinfeld. Right. It's like there's certain times where it's like you hear Larry David, but you don't see him.
Yeah, in the writing.
I actually... there's at least one time where you actually physically see him. I think he's trying to get someone to stop jumping off a roof or something like that.
I could see that. I think that's true. He's got to make a cameo.
Anyways. Yeah, I guess that's my 5.
Love it.
Do you want to do these bad choices before we get out of here? Do you know what these are?
Oh, no, but... Oh. Is this a new thing on the show?
No, you know what? It's actually coming to an end. This will probably be the last time I do it. Okay. Sometimes the cards are good, sometimes the cards are bad, but sometimes they'll lead to just questions or, you can answer. Okay. I'll read one to you, run one to me, and then... Yeah. Okay. I don't want to do that.
Nope, not that.
Yeah. Just don't read it out loud.
Okay.
Would you keep working your current job if you won a year's salary in the lottery?
If I won a year's salary, would I keep... You know what? I have an answer for this. I would, and I would really only commit to 1 day a week. So keep my foot in the door, go in for a good time, not a long time, as I like to say.
Just be the glue for that short time.
Right? Okay.
Disappear. I feel like it's not enough for me. I mean, I'm not saying I don't make shit money.
Oh, like money-wise, you're like...
Yeah, like it's not enough.
Because then I would want to extend that money.
Maybe 10 years.
Yeah,
if I won $1 million,
something
like that, I'd probably do it.
Interesting, okay. Oh, okay. I think this is a good one for you. Would you get a lot of enjoyment from being a member of the opposite sex for a day? One day. Enjoyment? That's a weird word to say, but...
Okay.
It'd be interesting. Learn a lot, maybe.
I honestly don't... It depends.
Wait, what are you defining as enjoyment? This is a very weird question.
Yeah. I feel like most of it would be the same.
Yeah.
I would just probably... okay, first of all, what would you do if you were the opposite sex? Ooh. What would be like... Because, like, obviously your mind first goes, for me at least, to masturbation. I feel like I might do that.
Try it out.
But then it's like, what else am I doing? Am I on my period? It's like, how am I...
It could be.
Like...
So would you enjoy that? No. Would I take a jog at night in the dark by myself? Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's what I would do. Feel safe everywhere.
Oh man, that's rough.
I enjoy it, but that's an interesting one.
But I think I would.
Yeah.
I think I would. Go out to the club, get some guys to buy me some drinks.
Do your makeup and like...
Yeah.
Although
I'm not really like opposed to men wearing makeup now.
That's true. That's true.
I used to rock nail polish.
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to do it again, to be honest.
You should.
I saw this. I was just kind of like seeing some photos of me from back, like 20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw you posted one. It was
that,
really cute.
like, oh my god, this is what I used to look like. What happened to me? I still feel like I'm more or less the same person. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If you could go back to 20 years from now and give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be?
Relax. Don't worry so much. Enjoy life. I know that's pretty basic, but like, yeah, I feel like I was pretty wound up a little bit. Yeah.
All right. Did you lose your virginity before your 16th birthday?
No.
Oh.
It's a one-word answer.
No, me either.
Oh.
It was on my 17th birthday, and I skipped school. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty epic.
That's nice.
But I feel my girlfriend wasn't a virgin. I feel like most people lost their virginity before me. Yeah. I know some people in like their 20s that are still holding on. I'm like, damn.
No shame,
No, I'm not. There's thing. No hate at all.
But it's like, yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Am I going to do one more?
Yeah, I guess so. Let's do it.
Okay, one more for luck, Okay. Would you cut off one of your ears for $500,000? I assume that you can still hear. Like, I don't think it's going to affect it's only a aesthetic situation.
I feel like I want to look into how far we are into like realistic.
Then you just spend all that money buying a new one. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh, just see, that's true too. It's like, that doesn't really make sense, but
I think
maybe it's not enough. No ear, 1 ear.
Yeah. I think for girls, like, you can also wear like long hair. Yeah.
Or get long hair, grow my hair long. I used to have long hair.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like past my shoulders. I wanted to get dreadlocks, and then the person that was going to do it couldn't do it. I was going on vacation. It was like this whole thing, and I had this just mess of hair, and I wanted it to look nice, and then I couldn't get the dreadlocks done in time, so I shaved it off, and then, I don't know how that would fly nowadays, but, like, it was funny because, like, I hear this thing about, cultural appropriation. White people having dreadlocks.
I used to want them, like, I had a phase too, but then I was, like, forbidden.
But, like, I'm being real. Like, when I was, like, in my foster home, like, they would tell me to get them. Right. Like, there was no... Like, I never saw that from somebody in real life.
Right.
Do you know what I understand people feel that way, and I get where they're... Like, I get what they're trying to get at and stuff, but it's like... My experience is so the opposite of that I'm like, I don't know, guys. I don't think everybody feels that way. I don't think it's always bad. I always just try to see the other side of things. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just how I was raised, and it's just like, even if it's like some shit that I am like fighting on the other side of the fence for. It's like I'm still...
See both sides, definitely. Like,
yeah, it's like you never
side.
stop learning, you know?
Yeah.
And things that I believed 5 years ago, I'm like, oh,
That's
like,
true.
what the fuck, you know?
That's true.
So it's like just... As long as you're doing your best every day and just keep treating people with respect and... Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's all you can really do. Find something you love to do, too. You know, I think that's key to happiness.
Me too.
One of them. But yeah, I guess we can get out of here. You can let these people know where to get at you if you want.
Yeah, so I'd love if you follow me on Instagram. See some, I don't post all the time, but fun things coming out. Care O Vision. So Care O Vision. Or you can search me, Caroline Concordia. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
So
it was
fun.
a pleasure. I'm so glad we finally got to do it.
Months in the making.
Like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%. And by The Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. Go get your tickets to the next monthly show. It's January 22nd, which is my birthday.
Woo!
You can get tickets at the link below. And you should actually come in February. When's the last time you did stand-up?
Oh, God. Forever ago. I'll come to the show.
We want to see you perform, yeah?
I will come and watch.
Oh, okay.
I come and watch. I don't know if
right.
I'm going to dabble again, but maybe.
All right.
Never say never.
All
Think
right.
about it.
But I hope to see you guys there, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
And happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes. Peace the fuck out.